Hi, I'm the Jack Otter. I'm here at the world famous Otter's Workshop. It's a beautiful day in Texas. Bluebonnets are in bloom, wildflowers are in bloom. And today I'm going to show you how to drill an 1.5" counterbore over the top of a 1/2" hole. This is covered on page 8 of the do-it-yourself universal swing set add-on plans, and it's a little bit tricky. If you have a drill press, it's pretty easy. You're going to set your drill press up, drill your counterbores first, and then drill your 1/2" holes through your counterbore. If you don't have a drill press, it's going to be a little bit trickier, and it's really important these holes are drilled as straight, as perpendicular to the surface of the wood as possible, or it's going to make assembling the A-frame very difficult. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have a 1/2" drill bit. I like to use a 12" so that I can use my speed square, and that helps me plumb the hole. You're also going to need an 1.5" Forstner bit. You can use a paddle bit, but Forstner bits are a lot better. They're a little bit expensive, but you'll probably have them the rest of your life, so I think it's worth the purchase. So let's just go ahead and get at it. First thing I like to do is I like to put a piece of scrap wood down on the table so that when I drill through my original piece, I don't have a blowout on the other side. It makes for a nice clean hole, and it also keeps me from putting a hole in my table, which, as you can see, it's a pretty nice table. I don't want to put a hole in it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to set it right there on the table. We're going to take our speed square and set it on the surface, and you see that that gives us a plumb line that we can follow and hopefully drill a relatively straight hole right through the piece. You could clamp this to the table if you want. Just take a couple of clamps like this, clamp it to the table, and it makes it a lot easier so that you're not trying to hold the piece and drill the holes at the same time, but I'm going to go for it. So here we go. And you'll see I'm just going to go ahead and get myself started, take a couple little test fires at it, put my speed square up against there, and I'll look at it and make sure that I'm good this way and make sure that I'm good that way. And here we go. So and of course my helper there didn't like all the noise, and I didn't put a hole in the table. Well done. So at this point you have a pretty nice hole that goes all the way through the piece. This was the top, and if I measure it, I should be about 2 1/4 over to the center and about 1 3/4 to the center. That, folks, is a pretty straight hole. Next, because of the way that we've designed it, you have to drill the counterbore over the top of the 1/2" hole. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to take a small piece of scrap lumber, and we've already drilled an 1.5" hole through it, and we're going to set that right on top. Now this is a 1x4. It's exactly the same width as the 4x4. I'm just going to set that right on top, and the way that I'm going to do this today is I'm going to take my clamps. I'm going to take a clamp, set one on this side and block it down to the table. Make a little adjustment to my template, and then I'm going to put my other clamp on and clamp it down to the table. And right there we're locked down pretty good. Take my drill with my 1.5" Forstner bit, and I'm just going to set it right in there, and you don't have to drill it all the way down, you just have to get it started. Once you get it started, then it's pretty easy to keep it going. And you take your clamps off, take your whole template block off and put that away, because you're going to use it again, and probably again and again and again now that you know how to do this. And if you look, you'll see that I've got a pretty nice counterbore started, and from that point I need to drill it down to about 1 1/4" to 1.5" inches depth. And I'll take my tape, and I'm at about 1 inch depth, and I can go a little bit farther than that if I need to, or, well, actually I do need to, because the plans call for me to make it how deep? 1 1/4". So I got a 1/4 inch to go. And there you go. And we have a very nice counterbore that didn't skip around, and it looks pretty great. Anyway, that concludes our video today. If you have any questions, write to us at Vaughn@OtterWorksUSA.com. You can also go to OtterWorksUSA on our contact us page to find our phone number and our contact information. Good luck, enjoy your build. Okay, we're going to do the same thing again, but this time we're going to do it from a different angle, and I'm going to show you a couple of other little things that we can do. We know that we're going to drill 1.5 inches through that, or 3.5 inches through the 4x4. So if you really want to, you could go ahead and just, measure that real quick and make sure that you know that you're not going to go past this point before you burrow into your backer board. But we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to set our 4x4 on top of our little backer board. We're going to take our speed square, set it on top, take our drill, and it'll try to walk a little bit when you first start. You have to start at kind of a weird angle, but once you get it going, take your speed square, line it up, and commence the drilling. Oh, I hit the same hole, almost put a hole in my table. Okay, so as you can see, we have, this is our top, this is where we were marked off. We'll set it back down and just do a quick check of the measurements, and you'll see that I'm about center at about 2 1/4, and I'm pretty close to center. I'm off just a tiny bit at 1 3/4 inches. I'm really good on one side, off on the other. So more than likely this thing is a little bit less than 3.5, which it is. It's about 3 3/8 or 3 3/8. Okay, so then we want to make sure that we drill our counterbore on the same side. So we're going to take our same block of wood we used just a moment ago, and we're going to put that right over the hole. And I'll show you what that looks like. It looks, you just want to get it as close as you can. Get it as close as you can, and just clamp it to your table. Well, you know what? I already showed you how to clamp it to the tabletop. Let me show you another method. What we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and drill a little hole here, and we're going to put a set screw in there. And I can tell you already I have the wrong tip, but it should work okay. All right, and we'll do a little adjustment, drill another little hole, and put another screw in there. And this is just temporary. You're going to pop this back off. Those couple little holes in there aren't going to hurt anything. And as you can see, we're ready to drill our counterbore over the top of our 1/2 inch hole. So here we go. And that looks deeper, doesn't it? All right, so we'll pop that back off. And just like before, we just want to set that off to the side because we're going to use it again. And you can put a little wood glue and putty in those, or you can leave them alone. It's really up to you. Things like that don't bother me too much. And do a quick check, make sure where we're at in the hole. It needs to be 1 1/4 inches, and we are 1/16 of an inch off. So we'll just kind of, and there you go. And you see that you have a perfect counterbore over a 1/2 inch hole. Makes the whole process very easy. We have one of our A-frame blocks done and 2 more counterbores to go. Good luck.